Nothing is real, everything's a simulation, and the robots are coming for us. What's up everyone, Chris with B-Demos here, and today we're taking a look at the 1981 DRV Plugin from MixWave. First of all, before I go any further, if you're new here, thank you so much for coming to hang out with me. If you would be so kind as to follow this channel, leave me a like on this video, give me a comment, even if it's negative, I don't really care at this point. Just interact. Let's have some fun. If you're not new here, thank you so much for returning. It means the world to me. I say it every time I do one of these videos, and I mean it every time I do one of these videos. Today, we're going to take a quick look at the 1981 DRV plugin from MixWave. This is a plugin based on a super popular pedal, the DRV from 1981 Inventions. Now, if you're not familiar with the DRV, it's kind of a Rat, but like not really. It's a custom circuit based around the Rat, but it's a lot cleaner, it's a lot smoother, and I recently was in conversation with somebody and we kind of both threw out the idea that it's almost like a mix-ready guitar tone. I'm going to be honest, when I first saw this drop, I kind of chuckled to myself. Because UAD had just launched plug-in versions of some of their amp sim pedals, like the Lion and the Dream and the Ruby, I think is the other one. And to see now a plug-in of another guitar pedal, I was like, all right, is anything real anymore at all? Now, in spite of that initial reaction, I was very curious about this because even though I have never owned a DRV, it actually does hold a really special place in my heart. For those of you who don't know, my favorite distortion circuit of all time is the Rat, but it hasn't always been. In fact, I really only started digging into the Rat because of the DRV. Now, the DRV has been around for quite a while. It's a very, very popular pedal. 1981 is run by Matt Hoops, who played guitar for Relient K, and I'm sure other bands, but most people know him from Relient K. Now, like I said, I have never owned a DRV, but it did send me on a path into Rat fandom, and at one point, I had like 7 Rat circuits at the same time. I love the Rat circuit, and I owe that to the DRV. So we're going to take a look at this plugin. I'm just going to kind of run through the features on it, just kind of run through the knobs and everything, and kind of give you an idea of what it can sound like. Now, in this video, I'm not necessarily going for a particular tone or even a good tone. I'm just turning the knobs so you see what they do. The DRV has your standard, 3 Rat controls, which is volume, tone, gain, but it also has a couple of extra features as a plugin, like a wet-dry mix, which I think is really cool and really awesome for bass. In addition to the volume on the pedal, you have like a master input and output on it, which kind of allows you to customize the sound a little more than you would with just a standard pedal. And then you have a high pass and low pass filter going into the plugin and a high pass and low pass filter coming out of the plugin. Now, this plugin is $80. I think that's important to know. I am not here to say whether or not it's worth $80. I'm just here to let you know that it is $80. And if you think it's worth it, then it's worth it to you. If you don't think it's worth it, then it's not worth it to you. All right, so I'm going to run through the knobs and everything, and you all can hear it. And then we'll come back and talk a little more. before I go any further, I was having a little bit of an issue when I was recording that, and I just threw something up on Instagram to ask if anyone had any tips. I had someone reach out to me and they were like, hey, let's set up a video call. We'll see, if I can help you out a little bit. And so Evan is Evil on Instagram, plays guitar for the band Edith. I'll tag him over here somewhere or down below. However you do that, I'll figure it out. So I really appreciated him taking the time to kind of help me through that, because I think it allowed me to show you guys something that I otherwise was not going to be able to show. So those are the sounds. There's not that much to say about this, but I do think it's worth pointing out that there are differences, whether it's the plugin or the actual pedal, there are differences between the DRV and the Rat. And I was trying to think, how can I best show that? And I had posted something on Instagram where I was kind of looking at the DRV versus this free Rat-based plugin that I had. And when Matt Hoops said I should shoot them out. So I think maybe he was being a little facetious, but I'm actually just going to run through a riff and kind of change the gain settings on these two. So this is the DRV plugin that we've been going over, and it's the Black Distortion plugin from Nembrini Audio, which is free, and it's just a super stripped down, really basic plugin, just, has the 3 controls and that's it. But I think it gives a good idea of the differences between the DRV and the actual Rat. Again, this is not a comparison, it's not an actual shootout of one's better than the other, but hopefully it gives you an idea of the difference between the two. Hey, that is it for this week. I hope you all have an amazing week. Holidays are coming up. If you celebrate holidays, I hope you have an awesome time. If you don't celebrate holidays, I still hope you have an awesome time. Later.